Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining another Ready to Ride Pilates session where we are going to be using resistance bands today. You know I always tend to stick with the yellow ones just because it's so much easier to work your muscles through a range. If you want to work with harder resistance, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you still get the maximum benefit of taking your body through the full available range. I hope you've warmed up before you do this session. If you haven't, pause now, go and find your warm-up session and then rejoin when you have done so. We are going to start off on your side doing your clam exercise, and so you need to have your loop of band around your knees. You will also note, if you've not done these sessions with me before, that I just used a piece of cut band tied into a knot. I've used the ready-made loops, but I just don't find that they're quite as good as the normal band cut and tied. Okay, so for your clam, you want to be feet lined up with your bottom, mouse holes open, pelvic floor onto floor 3, top hand onto your top headlight, and then you are opening and closing that top knee, making sure that you keep that top headlight as still as you can. Remember, this is about your hip control, so you don't want to be rocking backwards through that pelvis. If you find that a little bit easy, then of course you can take your feet off the floor and carry on doing that same movement with your feet off the floor, just provided that you keep the mouse hole so your spine stays straight. You can keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3, you can keep your breathing, and you can keep that top headlight nice and still. Watch as well that you don't start to get tense around your shoulders. You always want to be nice and relaxed through your upper body when your lower body is working. Okay, we're going to do one more of this one. And then we're going to bring your feet down if they were up and turn onto your back. We're going to do your shoulder bridge, so you don't want to be using a headrest for this one. Keeping your band around your knees. Have your feet a little bit closer to your bottom than you might feel is necessary. Neutral tummy position, pelvic floor onto floor 3. Roll back to imprint your low back into the floor, and then you're peeling up each vertebrae one at a time. Pause at the top, make sure you can breathe. And then you're coming back down each vertebrae in turn, once again through that imprint and to neutral. So it's pelvic floor, imprint, peel up. Keep the breathing relaxed at the top. And as you come down, each vertebrae in turn through that imprint. And I do find it easier if you think of imprinting from the top, holding that imprint position on the way back down. Okay, so the next one that we do, you're going to stay at the top, and if you can, I'd like you to stay in this position, and you're going to do some of those lovely leg extensions, keeping your knees out against the resistance of the band. The temptation will be to pull your knees in, or let the band pull your knees in. Keep your legs out and try to keep your headlights as still as you can. If you find it helpful, you can put your hands onto your headlights if that gives you a little bit of extra feedback to make sure that you're not starting to rock through your pelvis because of what's going on with your legs. Don't forget to breathe and keep that pelvic floor onto floor 3. Do one more with each leg. Okay, then imprint. We'll get that imprint started as you start your descent through your vertebrae, and then you should land in your imprint position. Okay, you now need to have your straight band as well, and you're going to start with your hands up above your shoulders, and you now need to have a little bit of tension on both of your bands. Again, pelvic floor onto floor 3, imprint, and then as you come up through your bridge, you're taking your hands over your head as well. Make sure you can breathe, and once again, and then as you come back down through your bridge, your hands come up above your shoulders once again. So you are now doing 2 separate movements, arms and body, but you want both of the bands to maintain that little bit of tension all the way through. Now we've added in the arms as well. Just watch at the top that you don't start to go too far, and try and get extra room or extra movement with your arms by pushing up through your rib position. It's 2 separate movements. Your spine is doing one movement, your shoulders are creating the other movement. Don't forget to breathe as well. Oops, I missed my imprint to that one. And now you've got quite a lot of things to be thinking about, so don't do like I did and forget to imprint as you finish. I'm going to do one more of this one. Okay, pop your straight band down, and we're going to move on to your hip twist. And you can do this in one of two positions depending on how strong you are feeling today. You can do this on the floor. So for that one, you want ribs to pelvis, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and you're taking each knee out in turn. As before, you might find having your hands onto your headlights helpful if it gives you that feedback so that you can keep nice and still through your body and make sure you're moving just through your hips. The other version is to go from tabletop. Again, hands onto your headlights can be really useful. And now you're taking the whole leg out, so it's the same as you would with the normal hip twist variations. If you find this really easy, you can pop your band around your ankles, but just watch that the whole leg comes and you don't then just find that your ankles are staying still and your knees are on the move. Whichever position you're in, you really want those ribs to pelvis, pelvic floor staying onto floor 3, and your breathing staying really regular. Okay, one more with each leg. Then if your feet are up one at a time, bring them back down to give yourselves a little breather. We've got one more to do lying on your back, and we're going to do your hundreds. I would like you, if you've found the last one quite easy, to try this one if you're going tabletop with the band around your feet. So it's not the easiest of movements to get into, but give it a go. So one at a time up into tabletop. And you now, for the hundreds, need to keep that pressure, that even pressure on your band through your feet the whole, or through your ankles the whole time. If you're going from the floor, keep the band around your knees. So it's pelvic floor onto floor 3, ribs to pelvis, and then you're going to pat those imaginary puddles of water by the side, making sure that you move from your shoulders, not your wrists. So keep that position through your legs, keep checking in that you are still pushing up. It's really easy when you're thinking about everything else, because you're thinking, move from the shoulders, make sure both hands are doing the same thing, keep the breathing, keep the rib position, keep the pelvic floor, and then you suddenly realise you've slackened off the band. So keep checking in, have you got the tension on the band? Okey-doke. So let's give your arms a rest, one at a time, feet back down if they were up. And now we're going to turn onto the side that you haven't yet been on, and we're going to pop the band back around your knees if you popped it around your ankles, and we're going to do your clam once again. So as before, check your feet are lined up with your bottom, that your mouse hole is open, pelvic floor is onto floor 3, and top hand onto your top headlight. And we're going to open and close against the resistance of the band. Just make sure that headlight is still, so the movement is from your hip. As before, if you want to do the slightly harder version, that's absolutely fine. Just sometimes, particularly if you're quite new to Pilates, or if you've had an injury or something recently, you might be able to do the level 2 version I'm doing without the band, but when you add in the resistance, you find that you can't do it. So it's absolutely fine. It's not a failure on your part, it just means your body's not quite ready for the resistance. The other thing you might find is you can't go quite as far when you've got the band. That's fine, it doesn't matter, provided that you maintain the quality of your body positioning, your pelvic floor and your breathing. It doesn't matter at all. We can do 2 more of this one. Okay, feet down if they were up. We need to take the band off your legs. We're not going to use that one anymore today, but you will need to have your straight band instead. Okay, if you come up into standing, we're going to do a couple of exercises that really work on developing your strength around your shoulders now. We're going to start with the curtsy, but I want you to hold your hands into this position, so as if you were holding the reins while you do your curtsy. So think shoulder blades back and down, so you're going to be strong around your shoulders. Keep your hands in this position as you go into your curtsy. This is quite a challenge. You want to keep that little bit of tension on your band, so you're gently pulling your hands apart the whole way through. Then see if you can make your curtsy movement bigger. So your pelvis will start to move, but keep your shoulders level. keep that tension on the band all the way through. So your contact basically is staying the same the whole way through. Now see if you can take your leg behind into your curtsy. Shoulders stay level, hands stay level. Keep that little bit of tension on the band all the way through. It's not easy. Okay, let's see if you can now combine going back and across. Tricky as you fall into a ditch. The perils of doing Pilates in the garden. Shoulders stay level, hands stay level, contact stays equal, even though your legs and your pelvis are doing something quite mobile. Last one. Super job. Okay, bring your arms down, loosen up through your shoulders, walk on the spot. Then you need to have one end of your band under one foot, other end in your opposite hand. You can do this standing on 2 feet. If you want an extra challenge, stand on one leg. So you're going to have your hand turned inwards, so your thumb is turned inwards in front of your hip. Shoulders back and down, you're turning up and out, and down and in. Up and out, so by the time you get to the top, your thumb is leading the way, and then your thumb turns in. If that is not comfortable for your shoulders, you can go to 90 degrees, or you can even go to 45 degrees. It doesn't matter, provided you get up and out, down and in. Keep the other arm really relaxed. It's very easy with this exercise to find that you start to get really tense in the other arm. Really watch that that tension doesn't start to creep in. So up and out, down and in, up and out, down and in. Relax the other arm. Also just watch that your ribs are staying down and they're not joining in, creating the movement for you. It's from your shoulder. Okay, last one of this one. I'm going to spin sideways, same band setup, shoulder blades back and down. You're pushing the hand forwards to neutral and back, forwards, neutral, back. All this movement is coming from your shoulder, so watch that you don't start to move through your body. So move through your shoulder, and again when you take your arm forward and back, watch that your ribs are staying still, and particularly as you go back, that you're not creating that movement by moving through your rib cage. And again, relax the other arm. Okay, let's swap and have a go with the other pair. So again, one end under one foot, other end in the opposite hand, hand turned inwards. If you can do it on the one leg, that would be brilliant, but don't worry if you can't. And it's up and out, down and in. So as you get to the top, you want to be able to thumb a lift, and then the thumb is in and out, down and in. But again, if you want to go to 90, you want to go to 45, doesn't matter. Just watch the other arm is relaxed. Watch that your ribs are staying put. Last one. Okay, then I'm going to spin sideways once again and do the same as I did on the other side. So elbow tucked in, shoulder blades back and down. It's forwards, neutral, back, forwards, neutral, back. Again, you're keeping relaxed through the other arm. Ribs stay down, and the movement is from the shoulder, so your body isn't joining in. This is all about shoulder strength. The stronger you are through your shoulders, the easier it will be to have that light, equal contact. Last one. Super job. Okay, take that one out from underneath your foot, and you can pop that one onto the floor. And then I'd like you to relax through your shoulder with some nice big rolls up, back and down. Those muscles have been working jolly hard, so give them a good relax off. And then soften through your knees, bring your hands up above your head, and then reach up one side for a good big breath in, and out, and then reach out the other side, another big breath in, and out. Keep alternating between the two sides. keep those knees really soft. And then bring your arms back down by your side. Check your feet are underneath you. Equal weight. Relax shoulders. And we're going to finish there. Well done for doing those. Some of those are quite tricky. They look quite easy. They're quite tricky to do. Well done for giving it a go. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It's just wonderful when I get new subscribers. Absolutely makes my day. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you again very soon.